Good evening, Jamestown. Welcome to Arts on Fire Live here on WRFA LP 107.9 FM in Jamestown. Jason Sample with you yet again, another live performance in a series of special performances we're doing during the fall of 2021. Arts on Fire Live is something we started at the start of October. Did a couple of shows already with Ken Hardley as well as Cindy Haight. And tonight we have another special performer for you to enjoy, and we'll get to that performer in just a moment. I do want to let you all know that our program is brought to you by the United Arts Appeal of Chautauqua County's Project Pool Fund, as well as the Corporation for Public Broadcasting's American Rescue Plan Act Stabilization Grant. I should also note that we are video streaming online. If you're tuning in to WRFA via terrestrial radio at 107.9 FM, if you get home and check out our Facebook page or our YouTube channel, you'll be able to watch this performance live via video stream. Or if you are simply out driving around or want to listen to the radio instead, you're welcome to do so for the next hour. As I noted, we have a special performance tonight. We have a singer-songwriter who is with us. We have Mike Brunacini, who is from Jamestown, New York, performing for an hour. We'll be talking with Mike as well. But I think first of all, Mike, thank you very much for stopping by and talking or playing for us tonight. We'll talk in a bit, but how about starting things off with a couple of songs?
All right. This one's called Nothing Happens for a Reason. I almost picture light as air, the last thing you said when I thought you cared. The weight of words, a cruel cliche. I'd say goodbye, but you left yesterday. I thought that I could trust you to tell it to my face. It's plain to see that nothing happens for a reason. Don't kid yourself, don't lie to me. I know the road to hell is paved with intentions pure as the lies we crave. I say the truth will set me free, so rip my heart out and leave me to bleed. I thought that I could trust you to tell it to my face. It's plain to see that nothing happens for a reason. Don't kid yourself, don't lie to me, 'cause maybe in time our wounds heal. I guess it doesn't matter what you made me feel. Thought that I could trust you to tell it to my face. It's plain to see that nothing happens for a reason. Don't kid yourself, don't lie to me. Thanks. It's good to be here. Next song I'm going to play is called Morning Sun. Your eyes like the bright autumn moon, but winter will come to you soon. Don't stay out there in the cold. outside splitting wood. To build you a fire you should come gather round by the gold glow. The morning sun already knows, revealed in its glow, footprints in the new fallen snow. Sun already knows, revealed in its glow, footprints in the new fallen snow. I thought you were cold, but I had no idea as I went to build you a fire. But in hindsight, I see I was building my own pyre. It was cold that you desired. The morning sun already knows, revealed in its glow, footprints in the new fallen snow.
All right, Mike, nice.
Thanks.
Nicely done. Love it. Again, you're listening to Arts on Fire live here on WRFA. Jason Sample here, live in the Reg Lenna Center for the Arts Media Arts Studio. And we have Mike Brunacini, Jamestown native, joining us for the hour, performing a live set right here on 107.9 and also streaming on YouTube and on Facebook. Mike, I'm familiar with who you are. We've had you in the studio for Arts on Fire before when we broadcast on our regular time on Fridays at 5 o'clock. But just to remind our listeners and those who may not be familiar with who you are and your music, where are you from, how long have you been playing, and how did you develop the style that we're hearing tonight?
I'm Mike Brunacini. I have lived in Jamestown most of my life, and I guess I just have an odd taste in music. I grew up listening to a lot of Ben Folds, Billy Joel, Elton John piano-based people, and that just for whatever reason I latched onto the songwriting part of it and not really the honing the skills part of it on the piano, but I managed to get just good enough to play the songs that I write.
Well, you wouldn't know because I don't know if you describe your style as simple or easy to do for a pianist. I'm not a pianist, so I wouldn't know. I think it sounds great melodies, great hooks, and it does remind me an awful lot of Ben Folds. It kind of the influence comes through there. Yeah. But you mentioned that Billy Joel obviously is another one. Are there other musicians, maybe not pianists, but other musicians who also inspire you and sort of help you set your course when you write music? Yeah,
I like. Oddly enough, I like progressive Genesis with Peter Gabriel. That is a big inspiration. It doesn't always shine through at all, but that's just one of those weird things that I like. I like Dent May is a newer guy who does kind of like bedroom pop sort of stuff. It's not something you would guess that I would be into, but I really like it.
So, right on. Yeah. Yep. When I was describing to people what Mike Brunacini does and what kind of music he plays, I said it was sort of indie pop or indie power pop kind of a thing. Is that a
I think
good way to
that's
describe
fair.
it?
It's hard to find like the proper term because I feel like some indie pop is way more modern sounding than me, and some power pop is way more vintage sounding than me, or way more poppy. if that makes sense.
Right. I was running around. You may have already said the title of that last song. I know you said the first song. Remind our listeners again, what were the first two songs that you played tonight?
The first song was called Nothing Happens for a Reason, and the second song was called Morning Sun with a U.
Both really good stuff. We're going to have you play some more music in just a moment, but another question I have is, I know that when you released one of the albums that you produced yourself and put together is when I brought you into the studio, probably 3 or 4 years ago now. It's been a while, so
yeah,
thanks.
Somewhere around there.
Thanks for coming back. I apologize for not getting a hold of you sooner.
There was a whole pandemic and all that, so it's okay.
Well, yeah, a little bit of a thing called COVID-19 is keeping us at bay, that's for sure. Where can people find your music if they want to learn more about your music or purchase your albums, and do you plan on recording anything else?
Well, you can find me anywhere music is streaming, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, YouTube, whatever. Any CDs that I might have left you can usually find on Amazon or my trunk. That's about it. I definitely plan on releasing and recording more music. Right now I'm just kind of churning out singles one at a time. It's nice to focus on one thing and really perfect it before it goes out, rather than putting all my eggs in one basket, sending the basket out, and then it drops into the ocean, never to be seen again. Right.
Ken Hardley, who was here last month, said the same thing. He's really focusing on a song-by-song basis in terms of releasing music. Nobody really does albums anymore. I think some people still do albums, but more and more artists are just pushing work out as they get it finished. And if it takes you a couple of months to write one song, great. If it takes you a couple of months to do an entire album and release them week after week, so be it as well. But
I'm an album guy. I love albums, but it's just not economically feasible to do an album at the scale I'm at now.
Well, the luxury of home recording as well as the internet has made options wide open in terms of how to put your music out there. We'll talk more about it in a bit, but obviously we're here to hear you play and not listen to me yammer with you. So we'll do some more of that in just a bit, but in the meantime, Mike, how about playing a few more songs?
Yeah, this next one is recently released. It's called Enough to Go Around. I think I released it in June, so this one is fresh on Spotify and everything. Southern end of 11th Street was a corner store named Albright's, and the neighborhood walked to get the groceries, and they had enough to go around. See, we all went to Albright's, who were mostly stocked by Sanderson's farm. But the bigger stores came and we could not compete, so they had to shut the small stores down. They shut us down and source their goods from out of town. The prices, they can't be beat. Remember, convenience is everything, oh. Just bypass 11th Street. Imagine the revenue this'll bring. It's how they made it sound. But there's not enough to go around. They never cared and never will. Hindsight is 20/20. When they discover that they don't need us, they leave us all with nothing. There's no way we can compete. Remember, convenience is everything, oh. It's not just 11th Street, no, not no more. Imagine the revenue this'll bring. It's how they made it sound. But there's not enough to go around. So that was kind of part one of a two-part story. That was obviously, all the mom and pop corner stores going out of business due to big box chain stores. So the next song is called Brick and Mortar, and this fast forwards several years into the future with those big box brick and mortar stores now going out of business. But it's not as triumphant as it sounds when I just said it. Our number's bleeding red in a tailspin. So where's the clientele been? They're shopping on their phones tonight. Like the boom towns long ago, the golden age of radio. What goes up comes down, you know. We're given the cards at hand. It could have been better planned. You know what they say about hindsight. I know it's hard to believe that it's time to pack and leave. We've already wasted time being so naive. The dreams that we've tried to achieve, there's no time to grieve. Remember the days we could do no wrong, expanding the chain, but that was so long ago. La da da da. We're given the cards at hand. It could have been better planned. You know what they say about hindsight. I know it's hard to believe that it's time to pack and leave. We've already wasted time being so naive. The dreams that we've tried to achieve, there's no time to grieve. And now I'm going to do a song called Wasteland. And this one is, it's about a guy who is drinking quite a lot at the end of the world. I saw it on the TV, and honestly, I'm scared. No one will be spared, but no one seems to care. And all around me, people go about their day. Did no one hear them say, disaster is on the way? In the distance, buildings crumble, the city's on the brink. I need some time to think. I think I need a drink. Laughing while the world is burning, drinking poison by any other name. I know it's hopeless, but don't I deserve happiness now and then here in this wasteland? a drink, laughing while the walls are spinning, drinking poison by any other name. I know it's temporary, but don't I deserve happiness now and then here in this wasteland? Another round on me. Come on, everybody. Don't you wanna be free one last time with me?
All right, very good. Mike Brunacini live on WRFA tonight here on Arts on Fire Live, a series of live performances we're doing in the fall of 2021. And Mike's got a few more songs he'll play here in just a few moments, but to take care of some housekeeping really quickly, this program is made possible through funding from the United Arts Appeal for Chautauqua County's Project Pool Fund, and also the Corporation for Public Broadcasting's American Rescue Plan Act Stabilization Grant, which WRFA received. And this program is going over well enough. We'll probably continue doing Arts on Fire Live throughout 2022 as well. You heard it here first, folks, live on WRFA. Also, we will continue this season of broadcasting next week. As a matter of fact, we have a band coming into the studio. It'll be Cold Lazarus performing at 8 o'clock next Saturday, November the 13th. And also a month from that date, on December 11th, it'll be the Probables, Steve Johnson and friends coming into the studio to perform as well. Tonight, though, it is Mike Brunacini performing. Mike, we've already had a couple of comments on Facebook appreciating your work. We've had Ken Hardley, of course, who performed here back in early October, but also Paul Giacchino, or Giacchino, says hello and thinks it sounds phenomenal as well. So keep up the good work. And I tell you what, we'll talk with you a little bit later on, but let's get back to the music if that works and have you play a few more songs.
All right, sounds good.
Great. Take it away.
All right. So next I'm going to play a song called Monochrome, and this just another sad song. I got a bunch of them. No shortage. If there was a way to get out of here, you know I'd already be gone. Looking around, it's abundantly clear. Hope has left us and moved on. Open your eyes, the world is so beautiful when you're allowed outside. Look on the bright side. Who would have known when the sun sets long before you get home that you'd see monochrome? Maybe I'm too sentimental, do you remember yellow, red, and blue? Maybe they never existed before, because I can't remember to. Open your eyes, the world is so beautiful when you're allowed outside. Look on the bright side. Who would have known when the sun sets long before you get home that you'd see monochrome? I always thought there'd be something worth waiting for, rich technicolor dreams somewhere beyond. Now I know that things will never get better. It's been monochrome all along. Open your eyes, the world is so beautiful when you're allowed outside. inside. Who would have known when the sun sets long before you get home that you'd see monochrome? Don't forget to turn the clocks back. Next is a song called Caroline. This is probably the newest song, definitely the newest song that I have. Wrote it like a week ago. And this is about the narrator recently lost somebody to a terminal illness. And this is kind of just what's on their brain. Half awake at sunrise, got the call that you were gone. It all went silent, senses cycled off and on. Buckled over, dizzy as the world began to spin. When it dawned, I'd never hear your voice again. Caroline, you know, it's always been this way. Everyone's slowly dying, pretending they're okay. Dusk falling earlier every day. The flicker of the candlelight, and you rest just beyond. Now you look so free, but selfishly, I still wish that you'd wake up and respond to me. I've listened to your voicemail greeting, but I know you're not there. So I call just to hear your voice at all. Caroline, you know, it's always been this way. Everyone's slowly dying, pretending it's okay. Dusk falling earlier every day. I should be angry, sad, or bargaining with God in disbelief. But all I feel is jealousy instead. And in the quiet just before the sun ignites another day, all I feel is dread that there's more ahead. Caroline, you know, it's always been this way. Everyone's slowly dying, pretending they're okay. Dusk falling earlier every day. Now I'm going to do a song called Playground Poetry. This is a song about kind of like an outcast kid in his high school years that's just kind of like in that phase where you've outgrown the playground, but you still hang out there at night. And just like that, recognizing the difference of the playground from night to day. Echoing laughter of kids through the year, mixed together with scraped knees, cries and tears. When the sun set, the atmosphere changed. It's familiar but somehow feels so strange. It's hard to believe that I could be happy here. Chain swings and Sharpie smears, the tunnels and slides, a canvas to set me free. If only you could see, it's not graffiti, it's playground poetry. Here in the darkness is hardly the same. Broken bottles and hearts encircling names. When the sun comes, the lost my place. And their voices somewhere in the night. Morning breaks and they scatter in the light. It's hard to believe that I could be happy here. Chain swings and Sharpie smears, the tunnels and slides, a canvas to set me free. If only you could see, it's not graffiti, it's playground poetry. Everything's overgrown, you've always known you can't come home. Everything's overgrown, you've always known you can't come home. Everything's overgrown, you've always known you can't come home.
Once again, you're listening to Arts on Fire Live here on WRFA. We have Bert Bacharach in the studio. Oh, Mike Brunacini in the studio with us.
Don't flatter me.
Right on. Great stuff, Mike, so far tonight. We're going to be talking with Mike in just a moment. Again, it's Arts on Fire Live, a little something we've been doing throughout the fall of 2021, featuring various artists who write original music from the Jamestown, New York, and greater Chautauqua region. And, of course, original music is the key. All these are songs that you've written yourself, right, Mike?
Correct, yes.
And, you know, when I last introduced you, you had said that another sad song, and that seems to be a theme, at least from the lyrics, but a lot of the actual melodies seem rather bright, and it's almost a dichotomy or a juxtaposition going on here where the lyrics take on more of a serious tone. Is that intentional? Is that just, you know, I mean, do you like bright melodies but dour lyrics? What's the thought process behind that?
I feel like part of it's just what I grew up listening to. It's tended to sound happy, but the more you listen to it, the more you realized it wasn't. I like catchy poppy melodies, but a lot of, like, I feel rhythmically a lot of it sounds happy. It's faster. It's not like super sad. You're not drowning in it, but there is like there's always a blue note in there. There's a sad note somewhere in every song that, like, it would be weird to write a happy lyric if that particular note is going to be in there.
Right.
Like
right.
It always turns at some point.
Right on. So one of the things that I noticed when I invited you to come on the air, and again, thank you very much for accepting our
Thanks for having
invitation
me.
on short notice, is that you have a music video out there. Talk a little bit about the music video, what inspired you to put a video together, and where can people find it?
Yeah, the video is for a song called Light Years. It's a newer song just released in sometime, it was early October. And I reached out to Matt Swanson of Brown Hat Productions here in town. He did a movie called Empire a couple years ago, and I helped score the kind of the final scene of the movie. And so this was kind of his payment was to do a music video, which I think I got the better end of the deal there. But he did such a good job on this video, and you can find it on YouTube. It's called Light Years. By Mike Brunacini. It's on the Brown Hat Productions YouTube page, though.
I don't recall seeing you in the video.
I am not in the video, no. And I think that's for the better. I'm not an actor, not at all.
Right, right on. But obviously some local talent is being featured in the video, and really check it out, listeners out there or viewers who are watching the stream live online, because it is a worth seeing. And by the way, speaking of the stream, if you're just joining us, you can obviously go back and rewatch it, and this is also going to be rebroadcast on WRFA on Friday at 5 o'clock, but the stream will be up there in perpetuity, as they say. So anybody who misses the performance tonight or is just catching it just briefly, you can always go back and watch it over and over and over again, so keep that in mind. Mike, you've also done work with a couple other musicians, and you call yourselves the Three Philosophers, which I'm not giving a plug here, which isn't a bad beer either. Who is part of the group, and how is it different from your original solo stuff?
Well, first of all, you got us. That drink is the namesake.
Oh, all right. Right on.
But it's me on piano and vocals and occasionally guitar. Then Rob Hewitt plays drums, and then Dan Davis plays bass. And it's very similar to what I'm doing. It's basically this, but with bass and drums. Yeah.
So those guys are more of the supporting act to what you're doing. They don't
kind
really.
of, yeah.
Do they do their own music as well? And the three of you.
Yeah, they do.
Okay, so you do collaborate with them, and.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
And they do their own music separately as well, and they're both very good musicians in their own right.
Right on. So. Any plans for people to see you perform? I mean, obviously we're in the middle of a pandemic, but you're seeing more and more venues hosting live music, and we were talking about this a little bit off the air before we went live, but any chance of people seeing the three of you out performing anytime soon?
Probably not for a couple more months. I would maybe in the spring, I would say.
All right. Let's hope so. Maybe we can book a return performance, but only if you bring your two friends along, the Three Philosophers.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Right
Love
on.
to.
You're really knocking out of the park here. So what we did when we set up the format for this is we figured an hour's worth of music, some question and answer in there. You'll get 10 songs to perform, but we're ahead of schedule, Mike. So if you wanted to play a few more songs, you're more than welcome to. But before we get to more music, how can people find out more about you? Where can they follow you online or listen to your music? Remind them about that again.
Well, unfortunately, my last name is not like a common one or easy to spell, but Mike Brunacini, Brunacini. You can search that in any streaming platform, anywhere you can find music, and my songs will show up. That's probably the easiest way to do it. If you're watching the video now, my name is right there, so you can copy and paste it. That's probably the best way.
I think we've talked about this too with your last name, Brunacini. I said, well, I know this Brunacini or I know that Brunacini, but not always directly related. It's not like you're all brothers or close relatives.
It's a big, widespread family. There's a lot of us all over the place.
Especially in the Jamestown area.
There were a lot here.
I was talking to my mother today, and I said, I'm going to have Mike Brunacini on this evening on the radio. And she goes, oh, yeah, we had Brunacinis living with us in our first apartment in Jamestown, back in the 60s. So
yeah.
Family's been around a while, right?
Yep.
Right on. Mike, like I said, we are ahead of schedule here. We've got at least another 15 to 18 minutes, and I said you'll have time for 2 more songs, but if you want to take us out of the hour, feel free to do so. If you want to play more than just 2 songs, Maybe you have an epic that you've been holding on to that's going to be your final song, a nice 10-minute long song. But whatever, I mean, the rest of the hour is yours. It's been a pleasure talking with you. I really appreciate you coming in to perform. It sounds great and wonderful, and I could hear you play for another hour, to be honest with you. I really like this style, and you don't hear enough of it, at least in the Jamestown area, so thanks for doing it for us.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it, and sorry I've gone through these songs a bit fast.
No worries at all. No worries at all. I'm more than happy to accommodate you to play even more if you want to, or if you want to wrap it up after what you had planned to perform, that's fine. All the same, the rest of the hours is yours. Mike Brunacini, thank you for joining us tonight on Arts on Fire Live.
All right, thank you. Guess I'll play a song called Out of Time. This is one that I normally play with Three Philosophers. It's kind of our signature song. It's always the opener. And actually, Dan Davis did help write this one. He wrote the chorus. 20 years ago, I thought I'd never age. That was back in 1995. If I'd seen a photograph of 2015, would I know that it's what I derive? So much going on, I didn't notice, now it's gone. When you run out of time, you'll be on my mind. What you set out to find's been replaced, resigned. When you run out of time, you'll be on my mind. What you set out to find's been replaced, resigned. Undeveloped photographic film runs through my dreams. The negatives gain color in my mind. As the years go by, the color fades and disappears. I don't remember what I left behind. As each year goes by, look in the mirror and say goodbye. When you run out of time, you'll be on my mind. What you set out to find's been replaced, reassigned. When you run out of time, you'll be on my mind. When you run out of time's been replaced, reassigned. So much going on, I didn't notice, now it's gone. Yeah, normally Dan sings the chorus in that one, and I totally forgot, so that explains that. Yeah, that song always sounds better as a full band because Dan's bass solo at the end just kills it. Next, I'll play a song that was actually on schedule, and it's called Don't Apologize. And this is about waking up in hell and seeing your parent there, and they apologize to you for teaching you the wrong religion, and this is kind of your response. Here in the dark, don't apologize. I know you did the best you could, yet here we are, denying the facts. It hasn't done us any good. How could you have known that this darkness would wait? You were here long before I met my fate. We couldn't have known until it was too late. I must have asked you at least 1,000 times. How could you be so sure of something you can't find? I never blamed you, I could have changed my mind. But I believed you when you said the light would shine. How could you have known that this darkness would wait? You were here long before I met my fate. We couldn't have known until it was too late. Oh no. We're here in the dark. Don't apologize. Now I'll try to do a song called "In the Shadows." This is another one we do with I do with three philosophers. This is about being a mushroom in a garden, sort of thing. You know, you're not really supposed to be there, but you're there anyway, and you just get to enjoy the view, even if you're not really wanted. Here in the shadows, the mushrooms take root. My bleeding heart weeping in silence. Moss cushioned footfalls are all rendered mute. I guess that's why the light never finds us here. Deep in the shadows I humbly reside, but sometimes I can't help but wonder, what would it be like to be on the other side? So I took a peek and it changed my life. I saw the wind through the trees, not just a breeze. Time seemed to freeze. I felt the sun's warm glow in the shadows. Just a breeze, time seemed to freeze. I felt the sun's warm glow in the shadows. ending is a lot louder with a full band. I think I'll close it out now with the last planned song of the night, and that's a song that I hope that it would, like, if this was my standard, if I went out and this was the only song anyone remembered, that I would be happy. It's called Lost State of Mind. Saw you last night. I know it wasn't right. Invite you over, it was sublime. We took a trip through time, and I thought we'd find a lost state of mind. Sights and sounds, the subtle expressions, I could see it in your eyes. A moment locked inside, it's in there to stay. I'm not sure that I want it anyway. All right, thank you so much for having me. Thanks for listening. I really appreciate being here, and I hope to come back soon.